decades, the skies were dominated by men, but a growing number of women are defying gravity and stereotypes to claim their place on the flight deck. It hasn't always been easy, but trailblazers like Lola Reid Allin helped clear the runway for a new generation of pilots.
At the time, I loved it so much, and it was so much fun, and I was persistent in getting a job. It wasn't easy in the sense of I could walk in anywhere and get a job, but I thought very successful, and somehow didn't think I was doing anything that special. It was great. I enjoyed what I was doing. I loved what I was doing. I think had I had other female colleagues, I might have felt differently. Having input from others is always important. But when I was flying up in Northern Ontario, up in British Columbia, number one, there were no other women around. Generally speaking, there was no one at the airports where I was based. The closest one was, say, in Winnipeg or Vancouver. There were not very many women flying commercially.
Today, the landscape is changing, and leading that shift is Cygnet Aviation Academy. Since opening in 2023, President and pilot Lynn McMullen has built a program that fast-tracks graduates into Canadian Airlines, bringing more women into the pilot seat than ever before.
20% of our students are women, which is fabulous, and we all know the stat that roughly 5 or 6% of the women in aviation or in commercial professional aviation are women. So I love seeing that greater number. It wasn't that ratio when I was going to my flight training. I think part of that is due to all of the organizations that are promoting women in aviation, who are creating great role models of women in aviation. We know through research that to feel like you can achieve something, it's important for you to see someone that looks like you achieving that goal. And there are so many more role models through the Northern Lights Aero Foundation, my personal favorite, through Women in Aviation, the 99s, the Elevate programs. There's so much more awareness. And the thing that is so beautiful about what's happening with this organization is it's not just the women that are promoting it. We are getting amazing support throughout the industry.
With initiatives like the Northern Lights Aero Foundation, where Lynn plays an active role, women in aviation are not just supported, they're celebrated, mentored, and inspired to lead.
It is all about these incredible women who are blazing trails, doing incredibly inspiring things in the industry. And our goal was to inspire others to want to do the same thing, to create role models for people to see it. We have outreach and mentorship, an amazing mentorship program where we connect mentors and mentees in the industry to support people's growth. Often if you're new to the industry, you just don't know who to reach out to and who to talk with. And there are so many amazing people that would love to share and give guidance and assistance, because they were there once too.
Thanks to organizations like the Northern Lights Aero Foundation, women in aviation are gaining visibility, encouragement, and real opportunities to rise. And it's that kind of support that made it possible for pilots like Caitlin O'Gay to enter the industry with confidence.
I see a lot of women in aviation, obviously less than men, just because of the way it is. We're building and we're growing, but I went to school with a lot of girls. For me, I think the women who came before me kind of built this foundation for us, and they went through the hard work that I've never really faced, I would say, much adversity being a woman. I mean, you get the typical jokes from some young men about women can't fly and all that kind of stuff, or there's a lot of kind of assumed. I've been out with some of my coworkers and I've been called a flight attendant, or I come up with one of my male students and they think that he's the instructor when we're together. So you get that kind of just like biased off because people think that pilots are men, right? You get that, but we had a lot of senior staff members at my school that were women. So it's just been ingrained in me that we are here, we have a space for us.
Lola logged thousands of hours as a commercial pilot, navigating doubt, barriers, and the challenges of being one of the few women in the cockpit. Lynn brought a bold vision to life with Cygnet Aviation Academy, opening doors for the next generation. And Caitlin, now guiding others from the flight deck, flies with confidence thanks to the women who came before her. Each of these women has redefined what it means to fly, and now Lola has captured it all in a memoir, part love letter to the skies, part survival story.
What I wrote about and what I experienced is a female pilot in aviation, but it also applies to any, the difficulties or the experiences, the joys, the triumphs. It's about a woman who wanted something that society said wasn't appropriate for her, but she had the confidence and the determination to go ahead and do it. So it relates to a lot of experiences.
I would say that there's no barriers. Don't have that kind of preconceived notion that you're at a disadvantage already. I think little girls now will see people like me walking through the airport, getting on their plane, being their captain and flying them. And I think that'll just become the norm. So I think that's nice to know that, again, we're just building on what's happening already, right? We're putting it in motion.
For WPBS Weekly, I'm Gail Paquette.